Good morning once again this Monday, the 29th of May 2023. Welcome to KTN News Center, where we have a look at the news-making headlines across the country and beyond. And just a day after Kenya joined the rest of the world to commemorate Menstrual Hygiene Day on the 2nd of this hour, that's during the News Center, we are now having a focus on what can be done to end period shame in the country and the region. We are now joined by a panel of three ladies for that conversation. And with me is Angela Waweru, who is just seated next to me. She's the co-founder, Heals for Pads Foundation. At the center is Winnie Mwai, who is the Assistant Chief Commissioner at the Kenya Girl Guides Association. And at the far end is Jenna Nyango, who is the Executive Director at the Polycom Development. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Feel free to be part of the discussion online at KTN News KE and at Purity_Museo, that's on Twitter. My name is Purity Museo Nzuki. First, our top stories. And Menstrual Hygiene Day is celebrated every year on the 28th of May, and this day is commemorated all around the world to emphasize the significance of excellent menstrual hygiene. Also, public servants to protest outside Parliament over a new tax plan. In a notice, they will march to the National Assembly buildings in protest against what has been termed as over taxation. Also, the High Court will today hear an application in which Judiciary Chief Registrar Anna Madi is seeking to have her accounts unfrozen in the 130 million gold scam case. Elsewhere, embattled Pastor Ezekiel Odero fights to stop a church closure will today return to court in his bid to have the new live prayer center and church television station reopened by the state. Meanwhile, the opposition has escalated its multi-push back against President William Ruto with plans to have rallies this week, and Raila also gave William Ruto an ultimatum last week to denounce his deputy's statement that Kenya is held by shares. Right, let's get started now, where period poverty is a menace that is eating into the welfare of girls and women in the society. And as the world celebrates Menstrual Hygiene Day, efforts are being made to combat the issue of period poverty and misinformation around menstruation. Many communities attach a lot of stigma to menstruation and regard the biological phenomenon as unclean, unholy, and even a taboo. Our reporter Esther Diana spoke to Senator Gloria Oruoba, who was on the receiving end of criticism after walking into Parliament in period-stained pants, and here is more.
Despite the world celebrating Menstrual Hygiene Day, a show of strides and efforts being made towards ending period poverty, the subject is still attached with a lot of stigma. Early this year, nominated Senator Gloria Oruoba walked into Parliament having stained her pants. The predicament was a lot of bullying and period shaming. So why exactly did Oruoba go to Parliament with period-stained pants?
It was just intentional that I didn't go home to change. I entered the Senate instead of going home to change. If we're going to stop it, it has to start from places like Parliament. I have a conversation with myself in my head, and I'm like, oh, now you're the one who will go back and miss session so that you can go and change because you're afraid that people are going to shame you. The same thing that you're always talking to girls, that you shouldn't feel ashamed and you should not miss class because you have stained your dress. What I wanted is to walk the talk.
According to official data on period poverty, 58% of women have felt a sense of embarrassment simply because they were on their period. 42% of women have experienced period shaming, with 1 in 5 being made to have these feelings because of comments made by male friends. Oruoba was a subject of period shaming. She, however, worries that she has not been able to deal with the trauma yet.
I haven't dealt with it, to be honest. I just pushed it aside, and it's not a good thing. I know I have to deal with it. I haven't really dealt with it. I think I have become busy around the positive element of it. And maybe that is my way of dealing with it, ignoring.
Statistics have shown that sanitary towels are a basic necessity, crucial in maintaining hygiene and preventing infection during menstruation. The fact that 65% of women and girls in Kenya cannot afford sanitary pads is alarming. Following her predicament with period shaming, Oruoba thereafter erected several billboards advocating for the end of period poverty. On May 27th, the nominated senator launched a pads bank that will go a long way in ensuring girls stay in school and women in prison have access to free sanitary towels.
And today is all about celebrating menstruation.
On any given day, more than 300 million women worldwide are menstruating. According to the World Bank, 500 million people lack access to menstrual products and hygiene facilities. In Kenya, 65% of females are unable to afford sanitary towels, and 1 million school-age girls miss an average of 4 school days per month because of their menstrual cycle. It is also estimated that 42% of Kenyan schoolgirls have never used sanitary pads and instead use alternatives such as rags, blankets, pieces of mattress, tissue paper, and cotton wool.
It's huge. It's huge. And unfortunately, you find years where we are making progress. Like I believe personally, between 2010, 11, 12, I believe we made progress. Because there was also a conversation around that time. There was intention of provision. 2011, you can see that's when now the government program started out of the conversation and the advocacy.
Senator Gloria Oruoba reckoned that the society is not doing enough in terms of addressing the question of menstruating. The menstrual hygiene activist further noted that the society is not talking about it enough.
It will take so many bold actions of many people to get us there. But in a household where you have both the father and the mother, right? There will always be an assumption that mama yao, you take care of whatever needs to be taken care of. So the father removes himself. And it's unfortunate because that's the shaming, then now it's passed from generation to generation.
Through the Basic Education Act Amendment of 2017, the Kenyan government has made efforts to provide free and quality sanitary towels in government schools. However, significant barriers still exist. For KTN News, I'm Dombi Esther Diana.
All right, and let's now pick it from there. But just before, I wonder with you ladies,